Some of that I played correctly, and some of it I might have made up on the spot because I can't remember how it goes. Anyway, welcome back to another video. I apologize for the long breaks between these videos because now I'm a dad, and dads have no time. That's a saying that gets said all the time, and it's true. I would love to make more of these. Stuff has happened. I'd love to talk about it. I just don't have the time to sit down and talk at a camera for 10 minutes. But right now I do. So let's talk about a couple things. Playing has gotten a lot better. Maybe you noticed. Maybe that didn't sound very good. Hopefully it sounded better because I sure feel better. I've also gotten a lot of new stuff, and I've also sold some stuff. I'm not sure anything. So I still have that old S24. I want to put new valves on it. It is so cool. It sounds so good. I want to give it a chance of being a real instrument because right now, kind of isn't. I bought a Holton 181, a TR 181, sorry. The bass trombone, the kind of last design Holton ever made, I guess. And I gotta say, I get it. It has a sound. There's a sound to it that I have not gotten out of a lot of instruments. It doesn't play the best. Has some of the worst ergonomics of any brass instrument that's ever been devised, but it has a sound. I don't know what they did. There's something about the components, everything about it should not be very good, and yet it sounds great. And I already sold it to a college kid who is going to have a great time with it. Honestly, if I had one of those in college, I would have had a blast. What a good instrument. Not all of them are great. Some of them are stellar. The one I had was right there in the middle. It was okay. I also bought a TR 185, one of my dream horns, also a Holton. You may remember I used to own one, and it's one of the only horns I ever have regretted selling because it did something for me. Sound-wise, even playing-wise, it was a really good playing instrument. Ended up selling it because it was dependent, and dependent horns are useless. But I've always kind of wanted another one, maybe to do this to. Again, send it to M&W, have an M&W Holton. I think that'd be so cool. Just modern playing, but classic sound. Basically what this is, but Holton. And I got it, and it was not very good. I played it for a whole day, oiled the valve, cleaned the slide, did everything I could, and it just was not it. And so I actually just returned it. I got it on eBay, and I looked and I was like, oh, they accept returns. Great. Get that out of here. Really bummed about that because that could have been such a special instrument. That's what I get. Sometimes someone shows me an eBay link, and I'm like, I have to have that. And so I just buy it. And then I look at the pictures, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Yeah, that was one of those things. Bought a bunch of mouthpieces, a bunch of lead pipes. We're going to talk about those in a second. I also have two Green Ho Con 88Hs coming today. One eBay listing that had two Green Ho Con 88Hs. I do not understand it at all. It was just yeah, here's two horns, everything's included. And I was like, okay. I just sold one for a friend that I think was a pretty good instrument. These ones I bought have removable lead pipes, which his did not. So maybe even more potential. We'll see how they are. They're coming later today. I can't make the video later. I have to make it now. So we'll find out in the next one whether they were good or not. Let's talk about the small things. Lead pipes. O'Malley Brass is a company based in Chicago. I'm pretty sure I talked about them because I bought a bell from them. It's not this one. It's on the way sometime in the future. Very excited about it. But they recently released lead pipes. And for some reason they had a sale. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them a try. I've tried lots of different lead pipes. How is their 50 copy? I like to try 50 copy lead pipes. I find that a lot of them fall a little bit short of actually the real thing. A really good 50 lead pipe from Bach is kind of unbeatable. Even when somebody tries to copy that lead pipe, it usually just doesn't quite happen. I have one, just a stock one from 2016 or something that is very, very good. And so it's hard for things to come up to that level. This has come up to that level. I got this VG50S. I don't know why it says S, because it's yellow brass. It's not short. It's just got an S on it. It's a sport model, I guess. And I also got a VG42, and it must be an S as well. On the website, it's not a 42 lead pipe, but it's just engraved on the top 42. So it's a 42 lead pipe. I'm going to try that in my Y-Fort because I think that has some potential to get a lot better with a different lead pipe. I don't have it with me, so today I've got the 50 lead pipe in my LT slide, which I really love like the sound of, and it has some of the best action of any of my slides, but it's always just been a bit slow. This slide is like opposite land. LT slides should have really quick response and sound kind of a little more narrow, a little less depth to the sound. This one had slow response, and it has a very broad sound, the most orchestral of any stock 50 slide that I've ever owned, I think. It just sounds great. And this lead pipe makes it have good response. You just pop notes out, but I give up none of that broadness. My stock 50 lead pipe that I already owned sounded good in the slide, but just was too much work. I tried it a couple times out in the real world. I'd use that lead pipe, and I was just like, it uses so much air. I can never get notes out when I want to. It just felt strange. And this feels not strange at all. Not all those sound amazing because I have not played bass trombone a lot lately, but I also feel like I can really just pop things out. If I think about it, boom, I play it. I can just play these notes. It feels really good, and I feel like, at least in this bass, it sounds really good too. Very excited about this lead pipe. I may be excited about the 42 lead pipe as well. I have no idea. I haven't played it yet. Again, Dad, don't have a lot of time. So let's go on to one other thing that I have with me today. I've been going on a bit of a mouthpiece safari on tenor trombone because I think I have been on the same mouthpiece safari since 2006. It has never stopped. And I bought a bunch of Greg Blacks recently. I already had a 3G, 5G, and whatever. I'm not going to get into them now because I have them all somewhere else. I'll talk about them all in one go. One of the mouthpieces I got was a 3G. That's it. Greg Black, 3G. I think this is relatively well known to be a pretty useless mouthpiece. It is huge. It's just really, really big. Old Bach 3Gs, which, you know, this is supposed to be the same size as-ish, are really just not that big. They usually have a little larger rim than a 4G, and then the cup is like maybe a little bit deeper than a 4G. I've owned one from the Corporation era, I believe, that was literally just like a 5G depth with a 3-size rim, and it sounded so good, extremely vintage Bach sound. But a lot of modern 3Gs are just huge, like a rim that's a little bit too big and then just way too deep. The Wick 3AL, which is a similar vibe mouthpiece, has fallen into the same trap. Old ones are much smaller and much more shallow, and modern ones are just massive. I don't really know why that is. Usually when you make a mouthpiece, you use a tool that's shaped like the cup of the mouthpiece, and over time the tool will wear out, and that makes the mouthpiece actually shallower rather than deeper. So they've changed their designs to be larger and deeper and bigger, and they get to the point where they land in between tenor and bass mouthpieces. They are not either one. I guess they're a tweener mouthpiece. And for my uses, that means they work well on euphonium. And this one feels pretty good. This is similar to the 3G, 5G that I had been using, but the cup is deeper, obviously. It doesn't have the 5G cup, it's got the 3G cup. And that just mellows out the sound a little bit. I played euphonium a butt ton over the summer. I played it a lot, and it was really easy. I felt great on it the whole time, but I could tell my sound on the 3G, 5G just a little narrow and a little bright. I don't have a huge problem with that, but sometimes I do want to make that just big, wide sound. And this, I think, is the next step towards that. It also makes some ranges a little easier. Those respond just a little better than the 3G, 5G. And the high range hasn't seemed to gotten a lot worse. I mean, it sounds worse because I'm tired and I keep talking, and that's not conducive to playing. I'm going to try it out this next week and see how it really is. Maybe it's too diffused and too hard in the high range. I'll find out. But very excited because I think this might be just what I use. I know at least one other very good euphonium player who uses a Greg Black 3G, and that gives me hope that maybe I can too. But really, this is not taking away any of the good characteristics of my other mouthpiece. It adds some better sound. So excited about that. Again, I have lots of new things. I'd love to talk about how my playing has changed, because it radically has in the last few months, as it has had to. I've had less time to just kind of practice all the time, and I have to get efficient. And I actually have. It's actually worked. I'm very happy about it. I'll talk about that at some point, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye.